A very good morning from South Croydon, where it is raining but it's warm. So I'm taking the liberty of stocking up on popcorn. I'll come back to that in a second. Right, so I've checked the 10-day forecast, and besides tomorrow, it's going to rain every day, 9 out of 10 days. So no idea what the level of rainfall will be come Wednesday and onwards. So I am going to stock up now. And if there's another day where it's not too bad, such as it is today, then I will make a break for it and go and stock up some more. Right, so I'm probably going to do, this is probably part one of two videos that I'm going to do, because if I walk at my normal pace, it's only going to take me maybe 9 minutes to get to my destination. So it'll probably be 2 10-minute videos. So I'll begin by saying that well, this morning I feel fantastic, but I said in the last time I did this trip, I came to a realization that I was eating popcorn. I would say perhaps 4 years ago, beginning 4 years ago, I began doing a series of live streams with Claire Kaw, that's CLAIREKHAW. And in those live streams, I talked about the fall of society, about the system collapsing. This was obviously going back before coronavirus, and the consequences thereof. And I talked about eating popcorn. That when that time came, I would be eating popcorn. It seems that time has arrived, because the one thing I know about God, he has a sense of humor. And it was when I was walking back, I think after I'd finished recording the last video where I talked about the popcorn, it dawned on me that I did say I would be eating popcorn. And I mentioned about the cost of living, energy prices, everything going up, and I shared the link that I posted to Twitter of the newspaper, the front cover of the newspaper, and my supply of popcorn. I tend to eat by inspiration, and ordinarily people might say, "What do you mean?" But if you see how I look, you wouldn't question. You think, well, something you're doing must be working. Now, I was on going to the gym every day. Sorry, not the gym. Exercising every day for this year, 2022. Every day strategy, until I got sick. And then, as I said in one of the videos, it dawned on me that I was struck down, because Madam Independent, as I have been since I was a child, I like to think for myself and act upon my independence, or act upon the things that I find out. And I've also stated, going back, that I kind of got God into a headlock as regards the aging process, which most would think on my part is vanity. But I absolutely don't see sense in the things that are not necessary. And I don't personally believe the aging process is necessary, because what it does, it's a deterioration. And when I was recording Supersize, which aired in Supersize versus Super Skinny, which aired in February, I believe it was on February 12th, 2008. We recorded it in November 2007. So we're going back now 15 years, where I stated that aging is a disease. And people would challenge me on that. But that's how I put things to God. If you can't tell me why it's a good thing, then it's unjustifiable. If you can't tell me why it's necessary, rather, then it's unjustifiable. So unless it can be justified. And saying that we all get old is not justification. Saying that we all get sick from time to time is not justification. Right, so I have my own little situation going on with God. So at the moment, the current diet is a daily bag of popcorn, 110 grams, and the coconut water. I mean, there are things in between. It's similar to when I was doing Supersize and I was having 4 cloves of garlic, 4 Brazil nuts, and 4 prunes. But it was interpreted that, or it was put forward that that was all I ate. That was all I was surviving on. And there were some people who were foolish enough to want to try my diet. So I am eating popcorn, a bag of popcorn daily, and coconut water. But obviously there are other things in between. Whenever I find myself as was the case with the garlic, the prunes, and the Brazil nuts, when I find myself, one second, eating a certain way, or drinking a certain way as well, I investigate. I have the power of the internet, so I've investigated the health benefits of popcorn. Look it up. It's very interesting. It's actually very good for you. I mean, apart from the fact that it's got lots of fiber, it's really good for you. But as I've stated multiple times, I do things as inspired, or sometimes I just find myself doing them. So it was my brother that introduced me to the popcorn when I didn't have an appetite, and he came over. I think it was maybe 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I can't remember now. Actually, yes, 3 weeks. No, it wasn't. It was the 3rd of March that he came over. And he did shopping, and he was the one who brought the popcorn. And I developed a taste for it. Similarly, when I was, I mentioned that I got sick when I was about to film Supersize versus Super Skinny, and my weight dropped from 42 kilograms to 39 kilograms. And the only thing I could keep down, I couldn't even drink water. The only thing I could keep in my system was Indian tonic water, which was introduced to me by mother. Because whenever my brother used to visit her every Sunday, I mean, we all did. When I say we all, those of us who are in London, when she was living in London. And she sent food and a bottle of Indian tonic water back for me. And this is going back to 2007. So 15 years ago. That was when I had my first taste of Indian tonic water. And like the popcorn, that was, I mean, obviously I've had popcorn before, but it was my brother that introduced me to sweet and salty popcorn. So in the same way that my mother introduced me to the Indian tonic water. And you can check out the properties of Indian tonic water, because apparently quinine, I was drinking a lot of it prior to coronavirus and all of this thing. But long story short, and I think I mentioned it in one of my videos perhaps a year ago, and I was saying that inadvertently, if such a thing exists as coronavirus, I was being protected from it, because apparently quinine is it acts as the one that people take instead of the vaccines and other things. It acts as a substitute. I'm not good with these medical terms and scientific terms, and long terms that are given to things, but it's the one that Donald Trump was pushing. Was it H? I won't even go there. But anyway, it acts as a substitute for that, apparently. Now, I'm no medical expert or anything, but the one thing that I do know is that God knows more than me about health and fitness. So to come back to the present, I've sort of thrown the gauntlet down to him. It's like, okay, so you've messed with my health, you must know what you're doing. You know more about exercise than me, you know more about diet than me, no problem, do your worst. And I have to say, the results are not at all bad, I've got to say. So it's sort of like just my little bantering with him. But as people are quick to say there is no God, it's all imagination and so on, but it's about the results. And going back to what I said about me doing my 1 a day exercise, and it's like making God redundant as a consequence of doing that. So now we're supposed to let our light so shine and let the glory be to him. So it's one of those things now where I can say, well, the popcorn seems to be doing something. I have not done any exercise since the 11th of March. We're now into, today's what, the 4th the 4th of April, I think. And I am not looking any worse for not exercising, if you like. In fact, I look better. So like I said, obviously God knows what he's doing. I'm going to I was engaged in a conversation on WhatsApp, a text conversation with a friend last night who I knew going back to the 80s from church briefly, and we reconnected a few years ago on social media, on Facebook. And we reconnected. We'd kind of not had contact for a while, and we reconnected, or rather he messaged me a few days ago, so we've re-established contact. So when I come back in the second video, I'm going to be talking about the importance of understanding why you're doing something, and the fact that because somebody else is doing the same thing as you, it doesn't mean that your motivations are the same. And the dangers of copying others, because they seem to be doing this, because they seem to be experiencing the same as you. So it's a bit like two people being bald. One might have chosen to shave their head, and the other might be suffering from a hair loss condition. So, for example, when I shaved my head in 1999, I believe it was, and again in 2016, that was because my hair was falling out. It wasn't a fashion trend or anything. So I've grown it back since, but that's just an example. So people who might have had alopecia or shaved their head to make a fashion statement, whatever they were doing, because two or more of us had bald heads, it didn't mean that our heads were bald for the same reason, because my intention was always to grow my hair back. It was never done as a fashion statement. So as I said, when I come back, I will continue from where I've left off in the second video. Take care.